All right. Welcome back. It's another Wednesday night. You know what time it is. It is SEC After Dark. We've got the full crew in. Jake Thomas, Papa Jake, Jeb Beecham, and Stephen Willis join me on this magical ride we call SEC After Dark. We are presented by DeadSoxy. There's a ton of cool stuff you can get with DeadSoxy. Just visit DeadSoxy.com and stay soxy. Any lines that we present are presented by betonline.ag. Those are the lane train socks you can buy, by the way. Betonline.ag, your number one source for all your sports wagering needs. Make sure if you want to bet it, they have it. NHL, NBA, MLB coming soon, college basketball, college baseball you can bet on, and much, much more, plus live casino games. So enter the promo code. Actually, sign up. Go to the website. Sign up. Enter the promo code Bleav. That's BLEAV to get a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline.ag is where the game starts. And Steve, before you tell us about these wonderful Stewart's Cajun Dill pickles that you should absolutely refrigerate after opening, I want it to be known that we had a heck of a band going on during the countdown. I was on the keyboard, and one of y'all was on the drums, and then somebody was like the maestro. We had a really nice setup.
Our countdown music, for whatever it is, we all get into that.
Yeah,
we did.
It's nice.
It's good. It's very nice. We're gonna hit the road soon on tour with our band, with our air instrument band. So I'm the greatest air keyboarder in the world. Just let it be known. Steve, tell us about these pickles, man.
It's time to get locked on pickles. Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles, it is. They offer a variety of Cajun spice products like pickles and green beans, okra, carrots, and even asparagus. This is a family-owned company, homemade on the coast of Mississippi. They've been pleasing pickle lovers for over 20 years, and they will truly be the best pickles you'll ever have. They got a nice little kick to them as well. This is a small business, and they work to get the produce local to keep them crisp and crunchy. You can find these pickle products at thepickledstore.com. Link is in the description, I believe, or at any Gulf Coast or Southern Rouse's market near you. Be sure to like Stewart's Cajun Dill product on Facebook and Instagram. These pickle products, okra and beans today. You will not be disappointed. Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles, the South's favorite pickle.
All right.
Did old Bruce just get a tech there, Jeb?
I can't tell what's happening. I think I'm a little bit behind y'all. So Steve was talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
I see him out there yelling though.
Yeah. So this mugshot angle that we're going to get of Jeb on is because Auburn and Tennessee are locked in a battle, and because of the background that doesn't help Jeb. So just keep that in mind.
Well, Jeb's coming to us straight from Olin Mills,
right?
Yes,
it's got a.
So good.
Love it. So anyway, what's are we thinking? Are we really thinking Missouri's going to be the surprise team of 2024?
When I look at the BetOnline odds for winning the SEC and seeing how low you get them, you can almost get Auburn at the same level that you can get Missouri on BetOnline. And that tells me that this is a team that's probably supposed to win 9 or 10 ball games. They're probably not going to win the SEC. I'm not saying that, but they seem to be in a pretty good shape for a playoff run, as opposed to like the players from there's a player from the Florida Gators that said national championship and playoff is their goal. And it's like, your goal needs to be to win 3 games.
Right.
Did you hear what, speaking of which, did you hear what Sunbelt Billy said? He's like, yeah, we can get beat by anybody.
Next year they likely will.
Yeah. They will get beat by everybody.
Everybody except Sanford.
Yeah, if they played Vanderbilt, they would definitely Nate Johnson would definitely run all over them like he did against them last year when he was at Utah.
So if Missouri is going to be, quote, the surprise team, how can you be more surprised after winning 10 games last year? I guess it would be going undefeated and winning the SEC.
Yeah, I'm wondering, does that count as a surprise? I mean,
yeah. Well, if you
We
look
know
at
they're a
their
good
odds, it's like I said, the betting line odds for Missouri coming into the season, they have them in the middle of the pack, near Auburn. They're like next to Auburn and Oklahoma in their preseason odds, and that doesn't make sense for a team that is returning their quarterback, returning one of the better wide receivers in the Southeastern Conference.
yeah.
They have so much going for them, and their schedule is not the most difficult thing in the world.
No, it's not a terrible schedule.
And
Outside of, I think, going to Alabama, and A&M,
Yeah.
it's not that bad.
but
No,
it's just a situation where if they win 10 again, they've overachieved.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I think that's kind of what I'm expecting from them is 9 or 10 wins.
Yeah.
This kid from Auburn just drove the lane and tried a crazy behind the back pass like the professor from an N1 mixtape.
Oh, baby.
And he looks very shocked it didn't work.
Yep.
It's
And Bruce-
what are you
He's probably
doing,
getting
man?
he's probably getting an earful too.
It did.
The professor.
Oh my, the professor. Oh baby, he just schooled you. Yeah.
I mean, the behind the back
Okay.
pass, he thinks he's acting like he's Jay Will,
Mhm.
and the behind the back pass looked awkward from the very beginning. And Tennessee went down and scored. Now it's a 5-point game.
Hell yeah. All right. So Steve, tell me, let's test your knowledge here. Okay. Israel got a new job. And
Oh.
all right. So Jake, you may know this too. This is Southwest Georgia high school football. One of the most storied programs in the southern half of the state of Georgia. It's where Mike Bobo played. Thomasville. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
That's where, I've heard of Thomasville. I almost said that's where Thomas Brown played, and I don't think that's right.
No, Thomas Brown played at Tucker. He's an Atlanta product. He's an Atlanta kid.
But his name's Thomas. But yes, I've heard of Thomasville. Yeah.
Israel's the new offensive coordinator there.
Nice.
Congratulations, Israel.
Where is that in relation to like Warner Robins?
It is south and west.
Okay.
It's 45 minutes from Tallahassee.
Okay. So he's actually somewhat close to the water then.
Yeah. I mean, he lives in Valdosta, so like he's pretty close to the water regardless.
Yeah. Well, that is
Drive by
a
him
cool
a lot.
thing. And West Georgia is like right near there.
Only about like 2.5 hours north.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think you guys realize how far south Thomasville is. It's like pretty much the last thing in the southwest corner of Georgia.
So it's like the Southwest version of like Valdosta.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's on that same path.
Okay.
It's just over in the corner. Valdosta's smack in the middle of the state.
Yeah.
Like Camden, that Air Force base that's right outside of Jacksonville, that's actually in Camden County, Georgia, which is on the East Coast, which is on the coast, actually. There's no East and West Coast. It's on the coast of Georgia.
Okay.
No, you're right. Right next to Tallahassee. You're right.
Yeah, so it's all on
North
like
of
a
it.
same place. Yeah, it's north of it, northeast of Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Is with Israel moving closer to Tallahassee and getting closer to Florida, have you noticed that his football instincts have gotten better?
Yes. Yes. His whole family are Gators too. That's what's crazy.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
Ugh.
His
Yeah.
cousin it was Ben Troop played at Florida.
I remember Ben Troop. Tight end?
Yeah.
Tight end and played the Tennessee Titans for a few years, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's his cousin.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, they're all Florida people. He got off Florida was his number 2.
Jabari Small, the running back at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yep.
His dad is Eddie Small, who played at Ole Miss. His brother, Eddie Small's brother, played at Georgia, and his other brother played at Florida.
Oh wow.
It's an
They're not
SEC
bad.
team.
That's a diverse family.
Yeah, yeah,
I like it.
Right there.
yeah. I was sitting here talking to Eddie Small, and it's like I remember that Small for Florida because I think the big deal was that maybe he was given like Steve Spurrier's old number or something like that.
11.
Oh,
Yeah, and it just because it was on the defensive side of the ball, he was allowed to wear it or something like that.
There's a lot of trash talk at the dinner table at Thanksgiving with those three.
Yeah, really.
Well, you have the Georgia and the Florida guy going at it, and Ole Miss is just in the corner going, "I'm not in this."
Right, yeah.
Hey, Steve, I got to.
Well, now you got the Tennessee guy now too, though.
By the way, Steve, I think you and me are like exactly the same when it comes to beverages.
Why?
Because you're drinking a Diet Sunkiss. I love those.
Yeah, it's a Sunkiss Zero, but yeah.
Well, same thing. It used to be Diet Sunkiss. Now it's, I guess, Zero. Same can. I could drink a whole sleeve of those.
But we're all very different than you, Corey, because we refrigerate our pickles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not talking about pickles. I'm talking about beverages.
Hey, I don't know how we're going to do it, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I guarantee you, and if Jason is like watching this with DeadSoxy, we'll figure out something special for us to do once the season starts. But with Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles, I think we need to come up with something for this fall.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly 100% sure what it is, but I want some more pickles. Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want like a pack of like the other stuff, like the asparagus, the okra, the carrots, all that. I want that stuff. That's my jam. If you're listening, I will refrigerate it this time though.
Yeah, just like the Ritter brothers. One went to UGA and one went to Alabama. That's right.
Yeah. Calvin and Riley.
And then sometimes you go to Georgia and transfer to UGA to Alabama.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go to Alabama and transfer to Georgia.
Sometimes you're the windshield. Sometimes you're the bug.
Which one are you?
Which one are you?
Hey, the Ole Miss game is on.
7-2. Good God.
So Vandy doesn't suck at baseball anymore, by the way.
Yay.
No. Vandy has not sucked at baseball in a very long time.
Forever.
They've sucked 3 times this year.
They've all got 3 losses?
Yeah. They lost. The bullpen blew each one of them. They lost to FAU in a game where they gave up 7 runs in the 8th inning. They lost to Dayton, which was a similar situation, and then they lost to Gonzaga on Sunday, where they just threw the ball around the yard, basically.
Oh my gosh!
Error City. The starting pitching's been outstanding. The bullpen has been it's been a wild ride. The bullpen.
I'm of the opinion Ole Miss playing in Hawaii the first week of the season just screwed their season up at the beginning because they're playing pretty well right now. But they lost to Arkansas State and dropped a game to High Point after their Hawaii trip because I just think their body clock was off.
Yeah. Georgia they're off to their best start in program history, 8-0.
Oh, yeah, Alabama's undefeated right now too.
They're absolutely bombing. Now they might fare like the basketball team where they get off to this really hot start and then just fizzle out because they just run out of gas.
Nice.
Wes Johnson, man, he's got those guys going. So that's a great hire so far.
TJ McCants is on fire for Bama right now.
Yeah, and TJ McCants will be on fire until he gets an SEC play, and then they start pitching him sliders again.
Yeah,
because that was his problem. And him staying in the SEC, that means everybody knows that scout right. That book's already there.
Yeah,
but yeah. So
Tennessee's 8-1. I don't know that much about him though.
Just 8-1.
They did just beat High Point though that you were just mentioning.
They're just a team, I guess, right, Jeb?
Yeah, I'm sure they're good. I don't know.
Where in the Cook's house not?
What?
I think it's in North Carolina.
Okay, I never heard of them.
Yeah, I know. We just had a 3-game stretch against not Albany but Albany, and I don't know what the difference is. Like, why can't they just call it Albany? It makes me think like there's multiple Albany schools.
There's an Albany State in Georgia.
Huh.
Well, but wouldn't they call that Albany State?
Yeah, they would know in
Yeah.
Georgia they would call that all Benny State.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
That is 100% true. All right. So what's the capital of Egypt?
Cairo,
Spell it.
Cairo.
All right. Now say it for the little town in Georgia that makes syrup.
Cairo.
Cairo.
Is it really Cairo?
It's really Cairo.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the place in Middle Tennessee that is Santa Fe.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, that's true.
It's like, what? No. I will never call it Santa Fe. And I will never call Houston County, Georgia, Houston County, Georgia. It's spelled Houston.
Hey, Oxford, Mississippi, Ole Miss is in Lafayette County.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lafayette.
Yeah.
It's different everywhere you go. There's no way to
It
know.
is.
I mean, I grew up in Fayette County, so
Lafayette.
I know.
Lafayette. Name for the Marquis de Lafayette.
Yeah.
Marquis de Lafayette.
I don't think that's right.
That's who it was. Hell yeah. Go Frenchies. Oh, God. Yeah. We butcher things here in the South. It's just how we do it. Join into the show if you're ready.
I will say this, Jake. Alabama does not play defense.
No,
They
they're
are
not.
allergic to defense. Good gosh.
Yeah, it's bad.
Tennessee gets a foul every time they try.
Depends on where they're seated and who they get. They might make it to the Sweet 16, but once you get to the last 16 teams, those teams play defense. And if you don't play defense, you're gonna get it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, I think that's the same problem that like Tennessee and Auburn have as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're good teams. Like if every game was played in Neville Arena, Auburn would win the national title
Easily.
But every game is not played in Neville Arena.
Right.
And Kentucky, like they might win in the first round, they might lose in the first round, they might make to the Final Four. I don't know.
Don't know.
It's like them, Purdue, and Virginia are all in the same boats at the moment.
Right.
Oh, dang. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like Gonzaga is on the bubble. It's how long have they made the tournament? It's like 24, 5, 6 years, something like that.
They're not doing that good this year.
Yeah, they might not make it this year.
They're in like the 4-H club conference, wherever
Right.
it is.
Yeah. They usually dominate that conference. That's how they get in, but now I guess they're not.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if that streak gets broken.
So I talked earlier about the surprise team in the SEC Missouri. And I think the other thing, like I said, I saw on Twitter somebody from Florida saying that their aspiration is to win the national championship and make the playoffs.
They're going to be the surprise team in the SEC for all the wrong reasons.
Right.
Yeah. And I was like, you have not seen your schedule. Tell me you have not seen your schedule without telling me you haven't seen your schedule.
They hadn't seen the schedule.
Look,
I mean, there's a good chance that Billy Napier, like G5 Billy, LinkedIn Billy, doesn't make it out of September.
he won't.
Yeah.
This
I was
is
going to say, I saw an article where they actually were talking about, and I didn't read it, so I'm wondering if y'all know. It said Billy Napier may have just hired the person who's going to replace him. Who did he hire? Does anybody know?
Is that what he's talking about, Ron Roberts?
I don't know. I didn't go. I should
What?
have gone and read it.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know about all that.
By the way, their NIL situation is a dumpster fire. Florida, for all the wrong reasons. The Urban Meyer years and with winning national championships in basketball and football, and that's gone. That's gone.
Yeah, that's bad.
Their NIL collective is a mess. Their program is a mess. They have a football coach that probably leans toward Dabo Swinney and his ability to adapt and change. Anybody that thinks that you're in Florida, you're going to compete for the playoff and the national championship, you need to seek help, honestly.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I just don't know how it's going to happen. You know, I'm really unsure.
And
I mean,
you can't look at the schedule and say, hey, that's a win.
no.
And this is Florida we're talking about. That's the amazing part.
Yeah, I'm not sure how this. I'm not sure how this goes.
No, never mind. It's not that interesting. The coach I was thinking of, or they were talking about, was Dan Enos, but I don't know anything about him.
Oh, he's not going to be the replacement.
No.
Oh my god!
And actually saying his
let's make that happen. Actually,
it says the article actually says could be the interim head coach that replaces him.
Now that's possible because you never hire the interim.
Yeah.
Unless you're
not nearly as interesting as I thought it was.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Or Michigan.
Well, yeah, you knew they were going to hire him. Like that was, yeah. I'm not surprised by Michigan. So, okay. So give me a Vandy story that you want me to talk about on Thursday's episode of Locked On Vandy. Ask me a question. What do you want to hear about for a segment?
I want to know how Vanderbilt's going to stop anybody.
Ooh, okay. I will give that to you.
Yeah.
I will give that to you. So one piece of that is going to be CJ Taylor. I think playing safety, he's kind of a versatile guy. He can play free safety or he can play down in the box. I think they're going to have to do a lot of smoke and mirrors. One of the most underrated guys that they got out of the portal, his name is Corday Sindor, and got him from Purdue.
Yeah.
He's an edge player. He's got a little bit of size to him. He's like 260 pounds, like 6'3", 6'4". So he could play that boundary side guy, the boundary edge that has run support but also can rush the passer as well. I think that's an underrated signing there.
And I think a benefit for Vanderbilt is going to be the fact that they're going to play so slow. They're just going to shorten the game.
Yeah. I mean, you look at what Tim Beck did at New Mexico State, and they're going to, offensively, I think they got the right pieces that fit them. They don't have any superstars, obviously, when you're 2-10 and your culture was just unbelievably awful last year. And you have all these guys leave, like replacing that is difficult. Especially when you didn't have a coordinator in during like the peak transfer season. So that was tough, but I think they'll be okay.
This is a good transition, I think, for what should 2024 actually look like. And, Vanderbilt, what's the expectation? I know the over-under is at like 2.5 wins, and I think they hit over pretty easily, honestly.
Yeah. I think they hit the over on that. But the expectation, I think, bowl game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think.
How does that happen?
You beat Virginia Tech. You beat Kentucky and South Carolina. And possibly Missouri.
You got to win both of those non-conference games for sure, or all three of them.
Yeah, you got to win. You got to win. You got to go 4-0 in the non-conference. You got to beat Virginia Tech, and then the three: Alcorn State, Georgia State, and Ball State. You got to win those 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
And then Alcorn, Georgia State, and who?
Virginia Tech.
Well, what's the other non-con?
Ball State.
Ball State. So let's put a pin in Virginia Tech because that's a bowl team. So that's 3 wins there. Florida is one that in the SEC that they're going to have a shot at, in my opinion. Yeah. Who else do they play from the bottom tier of the SEC?
Kentucky, South Carolina.
South Carolina. Okay, that's 5 wins. So where's
Kentucky? Who I don't know if you've seen the video. I don't know if it's staged or not, but they were getting to fighting.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, they play Auburn too.
They weren't landing anything.
They play Auburn. They don't play Florida. Vanderbilt doesn't play Florida.
No, Vanderbilt plays Auburn, which that's just as good as playing Florida because Auburn sucks.
So the bowl wins are at Kentucky, at Auburn, South Carolina. Like those are the pivotal ones for bowling purposes.
Yeah,
I think bowl game is the expectation. Win 5, it's acceptable. Anything less, I think it's red hot.
I think if Vanderbilt wins 4 games or less, Clark Lee has a new job. next year.
Yeah, he's going to be somebody's defense coordinator next year.
Yeah,
if that happens. And I think, honestly, I think they have an outside shot at Virginia Tech.
So, I do too, but just I've seen them play Lake and all those schools, and
they're a bowl team. They return a lot of guys, which is dangerous. But
I mean, Ball State was a bowl team last year too, I Bleav.
They were.
Yeah, and Vandy lost to UNLV last year.
Right.
Vandy had no identity off it. Like there's a lot of things differently. Like the strength program, I thought was crap at Vanderbilt before. I think you're seeing guys get a lot stronger. I mean, you can see a difference in the body composition. Not to go all Barry Every on you, but Clark Lee was on the Vandy Sports podcast this week, and just listening to him, he sound. You know how he normally sounds, like he's
like a robot.
Yeah, he didn't sound like that. He sounded like very confident, just kind of laid back. And I thought that was surprising. Like usually it's just all coach speak, and he's just like trying to get through it, But
so looking at their schedule, the 4 non-conference games. Outside of that, I mean, they're going to have to either get Auburn, South Carolina, or Kentucky to get that 6th win, because they still got to play at Missouri. They got Bama at home. They got Texas at home,
which they have a winning record against Texas.
Right, they do. But they go to LSU, and they got Tennessee. So I just don't see. I mean, you got to get Kentucky, Auburn, and South Carolina if you're going to be bowl eligible.
Yeah. I think honestly, out of there's 4 teams, I think that you have to get two wins out of these 4 games. Tech, Kentucky, Auburn, South Carolina, like you just said. All right. I like Auburn as a win, and I like South Carolina as a win.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech is a toss-up, and Kentucky is probably a no.
Yeah, and is it in Nashville? Is it in the construction site?
Which Kentucky game?
The Kentucky Vandy game?
Kentucky's at Kentucky.
It's in Lexington.
Okay, yeah, they're not going to get that.
So they play Tech at home. They play they go on the road to Georgia State, by the way. They play Missouri, at Bama. They're at Kentucky. No, they're home against Bama.
No, they're home against Bama.
They're at Kentucky, at Auburn, home against South Carolina. At
Bama's in trouble tonight, by the way.
Big time.
So, I don't know. It's I think bowl games are possible. I mean, there's a lot of factors in.
Yeah, I think it'll be a tough run for Vandy. Like pull up the South Carolina schedule, because South Carolina I think has dumpster fire potential.
Yeah,
next season.
And the reason why is I think with Vandy, the quarterback situation, I think is very favorable, because I think they finally have a good marriage between quarterback and coordinator. They haven't had that. Well, they play Old Dominion. It's not an easy game.
No, that schedule is brutal.
They've got at least 8 losses in there.
Yeah.
Ole Miss, Jesus.
John DeLone says, I think you guys just broke the world record for the most time spent breaking down Vandy's 24 with W&L projection.
Yes, Chauncey. Well, Chauncey, if you knew, I don't know if you've not been around lately, but that's my other show there. So,
that was John DeLone, man. He's back. We got an old standby coming back into the show. So welcome back, John.
Hey, John, you haven't been around much either. And where's your Beavis and Butthead avatar? You better get that back ASAP or you're gone, sir.
Yeah. We're not going to put up with such foolishness.
I'm not putting up with this tomfoolery here. You better get your you better get your you know what in line. I want to still keep our clean rating, but you know what I'm thinking. But no, I do Vandy every day now, John. It's been an adventure so far trying to dig up football content in February, but I end up going through the greatest hits.
Well, it's like me and everybody, and I get it all the time. I hear it. It's like, why don't you talk more about basketball? Why don't you talk more about baseball? Because, Ole Miss is playing for their 20th win in basketball right now. The baseball team's supposed to be pretty decent. And I was like, listen, on my show, it's 90% football, 5% basketball, and 5% baseball. I'm going to talk about the middle linebacker competition in spring football more than baseball and basketball. Right. That's just what I'm going to do, because if I talk about baseball and basketball, people don't watch.
Right. They don't.
Yeah, they really don't.
Football is king down in the South. So
even when baseball is the only relevant program on your campus, I did an episode where I led with the Clark Lee appearance on the podcast and like what I thought he said and what it meant. Like I was just breaking down his comments, and I got 100 views. Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
it was a total toss up of topic. Like I just pulled that one out of my you know what, and then I talked baseball for the other two segments. But the days that I led with baseball, it was like 35 views. So like what? Like I don't get like you guys are like Vandy fans are crazy about baseball,
but you don't watch it.
But you don't watch it. Not that crazy, because anytime I leave with football, they're all over it.
Yes. That's the reason I do extra videos for baseball, basketball, and women's basketball. And I talk about on the regular show, all football all the time.
I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet to do extra shows. I'm not there yet. I need to build the listenership up a little bit. I need to get into the revenue share before I start doing extra stuff. I've done 2 YouTube shorts so far. So there you go. I'll do some.
Well, little inside baseball is like I decided from the very beginning I wanted to be everywhere. Not whenever somebody looked up anything about Ole Miss, I wanted to be the first Ole Miss podcast that comes up. The anytime you're thinking, I'm always there. And
I've got a special guest coming on. I'll tell you guys off air. I'm working out scheduling wise right now, but the director of scouting, not Barton. It's not Barton. It's the new guy they hired from Alabama, Harding Harper.
Okay.
He's I talked about him earlier this week on my show and tagged him in the post, and he followed me back, and I messaged him and said, hey man, I'd love to have you on the show. So I'm excited about that.
Excellent.
So those of you guys are listening. Israel and I did a show last night talking about the new hires there. It's weird that we're poaching coaches from Georgia Tech. I don't know what that says about Georgia, but
they poached them from you first.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's true. But,
that's all the Buster tree.
Yeah, the Buster. This guy was he was in like every major South Georgia program before he got into college. The running backs coach we just hired. Israel knows him like really well.
Are they set up to like the defensive back coach that went to Syracuse,
Fran Brown?
Is it basically a replacement for Fran Brown as far as the recruiting prowess?
Well, yeah.
Because Fran Brown was a superstar.
Well, Del McGee's a superstar recruiter too.
Yeah. Who
just left for Georgia State. So I guess you're yes and yes. The dude we hired, I can't think of his name, for Travaris Robinson, who was supposed to be the recruiting ace that filled Fran Brown's spot.
T-Rob,
T-Rob that we hired.
Jake knows all about T-Rob.
Yeah.
Sure do.
And then we hired James Coley again. I'm going down that path.
Not an offensive coordinator though.
Thankfully not. But yeah, we're going down that path again. I guess he must recruit the hell out of South Florida. He must recruit South Florida well enough to come back to Georgia after the disaster he left in. So I'll take it. I have no choice but to trust Kirby at this point. He's done pretty well.
Yeah. When you look up benefit of the doubt in the dictionary, it's Kirby Smart at the moment.
Yeah, well, they had Nick Saban there and they erased him.
Yeah.
He retired. Yes.
Yeah.
What happens?
Jake's head popped up like, what the hell?
Yeah. Now he's doing the first lady role of some sort of a pet project that he does, and he's going to be all over TV, which I think he's going to be fantastic at TV.
Me too.
I think it's pretty. Him and McAfee together are going to be. That's going to be must see TV.
That'd be a fun show.
Has it been, said that McAfee's going to be part of it next year?
I don't know. He rejoined Raw, so he may
right. And they said the Raw deal was like a permanent thing. When he did it beforehand, he didn't do Raw during the season for football. So he can do the game day thing. So
I don't know if it's been decided yet, Jake.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Listen, I have no problem with Pat McAfee.
I don't either. I love him.
But it's a situation to where if he's not on game day, that's not a game changer one way or another for me. Because I think that game day getting Nick Saban, and like I said, if Nick Saban can be what Lee Corso was before the gimmick, the emphasis being on before the gimmick,
right?
The game day will be good again, and you don't need to do all the human interest stuff and all of this. Just if you talk about and break down football games, Nick Saban is going to just basically school everybody with how much that man knows.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah,
that'll be like less fluff pieces. I like the mic'd up stuff that they do where they go like to different practices and you see that stuff, and like I love when they go to the different, like I wish they would go to more, like have more reporters out there and they would go to them like, hey, this reporter's at Penn State and they're playing against Rutgers. Rutgers is looking to go 7-0. Pat 40.
Listen, you call me cold-hearted. I don't care about a teenage kid that might be a fan of the institution that's going through a terminal illness. I don't care that. I'm sorry that it happened. And he's going through that, and that's horrible. But that story is not going to make me interested in the Purdue versus Illinois game that's happening that day.
I think if it's an on-site story like that, I think that's such a trap. That was the original clickbait. Whenever you would go after basically the Make-A-Wish kid to try and talk about that, so everybody will feel bad and to look in what's going on and not. No, make the game what it is. The game is the important part. Yeah. They get too cute for their own britches. Speaking of that, the kicking competition thing, that better not leave. Well, if McAfee's gone, that probably will go. But if McAfee's back, better to keep doing that, because watching Kirk Herbstreit get in somebody's face and just talk a whole bunch of trash
is fun.
Was hilarious. I loved it. Every minute of it. You have McAfee on one side, Herbstreit on the other, and they're just barking at whoever the person is that week.
Yes. I'm looking forward to what game day could be. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of coming to your city or anything like that, but I think if game day decides to kind of get back to their roots, they can turn this up.
Probably why they hired Nick Saban, and I think that's what they want to do. And
but they need to coincide with hiring Nick Saban with moving past Lee Corso.
Yeah.
I think
unfortunately, you're right.
Unfortunately, I think it's time.
Yeah, it's become an anchor on that show.
And if you have McAfee, you don't necessarily need the headgear thing. That can probably go with Lee Corso. Not saying that it's not a fun bit, but like that's one of those things where like that's Corso's thing. Like I don't think anybody else could replicate that. I don't want to see anybody try. But I think like McAfee brings enough energy during the pick segment that like it's exciting. And the celebrity guest pickers, I like that, and I like how they interact with them, and I like how they play the crowd and a lot of that stuff. So it's a good mix, I think.
Well, I think if they do that, give me Nick Saban and Dan Mullen and a couple of former players like Joey Galloway just talking ball, because Dan Mullen on TV knows he's good. He's really good at TV. Now, I don't want him on the sideline. It's kind of like Gene Chizik.
Mm-hmm. Give me Ben Watson, Roman Harper, Joey Galloway.
And just let them chop it up on games. Like SEC Nation would be very good if you could get just the meat and the potato guys and not so much Tim Tebow. Mm-hmm. Now, I like Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow could be very good, but he's starting to take that gimmick and starting to, lean too far into that. And that's problematic.
That's an ESPN thing. They think gimmicks will get viewers, and that's not.
Well, no, gimmicks do get viewers, but they don't get the right viewers. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You might have a viewership of 2.5 million people, but 700,000 people of that are watching it for the wrong reason. And you don't know how many people have been alienated from doing it the other way, the right way.
Yeah, you probably get more consistent viewers that way. Doing it the right way. That is. Yeah, I want to see more analysis, a couple gimmicks, a couple fun things. Just entertain me, inform me, and get me to the game.
And this actually is, John just had a heck of an idea. Lee Corso needs to be moved to a recorded segment.
Yep.
And he picks the game down in Orlando or wherever he is in Florida, and you basically record it on Wednesday and you play it at the end of the game. And they do a bit like with COVID, to where he was basically making the picks on his lanai.
Yeah.
That's true.
Come in to your
which by the way, Ole Miss fans are going to buy like every copy of NCAA 25. They might buy 2.
I got to buy a new system before I can buy one.
It won't work with your Nintendo 64.
No.
Unfortunately, his PlayStation 2 won't play it.
No, I got them all.
Skipping. Every time he thumps the table, it keeps skipping.
Yeah, I got them all. Well, I don't have the N64, but I got several different, designs and all that.
You have an Xbox One? Will it work on that?
No, not on the last version, not the newest version. It's just the newest version and the PS5 is coming out on.
Yep.
PC at a later date, I think.
Well, looks like, gosh.
Yeah, I've got an Xbox One S or One X, whichever one that is. Whichever the equivalent of the PS5 is on Xbox,
yeah,
I've got.
Xbox One X.
And I've got a PS5. So.
Y'all good?
I'm good. Yeah.
I'm not good. I got an Xbox One.
Yeah, that's what I got. And I got a PS4. So
I'm just excited it's not going to be the Madden engine.
Thank God.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what they do with this. But I still want to be able to import a draft class into Madden. As long as we can still do that.
That'd be pretty cool.
Well, you'll get real games this time.
Everything that I've seen about the new college football game is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
All I know is the uniform combinations that are going to be available for Ole Miss in this one. Oh my goodness. Just straight fire.
Have they already announced that?
You guys got good uniforms. It's not.
Yeah. And I wonder if Georgia will even have like the white helmets and the black helmet options that you can.
Sweet.
Uh-huh.
That would be sweet.
Yeah.
Kirby, if you're listening, I don't think it's too late, but make sure you tell them for recruiting purposes. So, because these recruits are going to do create a player.
Yeah, I'm sitting here and I think over and over again, the thing that I'm looking forward to seeing is like the navy blue helmet and the powder blue jerseys. That's something for whatever reason. That's what I want to see right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see me win a national championship with Kent State.
Yeah, it can happen. I won one with Utah State in 2013.
You should do challenges and win one with Vandy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, make it hard.
Yeah, I gotta make it difficult on me.
I do. I got a dynasty going with Vandy right now. My 2013 one too.
I wonder if how much is it to download on the game store?
It's $59.99, ain't it? think it's $60.
2014?
No, not 2014. No, it's not on the game store. None of the previous games. Nope.
You can't download it?
Nope. Not on there.
Damn.
I know.
I used to have it too. For the Xbox 360.
And if you buy it online somewhere like Amazon or eBay, it's like $200.
Yeah, screw
I
that.
think 2013 was the last one I got. Yeah.
2014 or whatever.
I never did get 14, but
I wonder if it's at like a GameStop for like $20.
I haven't found it.
I just coincided them with Madden. You could take one player, run them all through 4 years of college, then import them into Madden and just draft him to the Titans.
You need to hit like antique stores and Goodwills.
Yeah.
I guarantee you there's one there.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
And you get it for like $13.
Yeah.
That'd be a steal if you could find that. I'm going to tell you what I'm hoping to see in the future, and this is going to be a success because everybody's been waiting on this for years. I'm hoping they expand to making a new college basketball game because we ain't had one of those since 2008, I believe, or 2010, one or two.
I want a college baseball game.
They haven't made one of those since like 2005.
Yeah.
So,
that'd be fun. But
just
like the college,
mm-hmm.
they emphasize the ping.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
Breaking news: Kansas has agreed to a new contract for Lance Leipold.
Oh my gosh!
Raise in his average salary to more than $7 million per year. See, Vandy, if you invest in a coach like that, because Kansas was the Vandy of the Midwest.
Yep.
Athletically, at least, not school wise, but they were good in sports not called football. You can do it, Vandy. You can do it.
Bama's getting close in the Ole Miss game to not being able to come back.
I think they're already there. I mean, they just had all five of their guys just like crash the boards and left three guys running free for Ole Miss.
Honest, this is the weirdest thing. You watch this basketball game. This looks like a rec league, church league game.
It does.
To where, I mean, every Alabama player was inside the block charge circle.
Yeah. And
there's like two players for Ole Miss just wide out. And it looks like they're snowbirding.
Yeah.
Because they were so open.
Oh, God. It's going from bad to worse for Florida athletics. Steve, you know what I'm talking about. The baseball team lost to Stetson.
Oh, wow.
7-4.
It feels like this season, for whatever reason, is more chaotic than normal in college baseball. Because there's a whole lot of these schools that are ranked that are getting beat.
Well, it's because like with NIL, there's more trickle down with talent because a lot of your top guys that aren't going like first round are coming to college, which is pushing some of the guys that these major programs would normally sign down. And it's just like, it's like a trickle effect. So like these smaller teams are getting better players because of NIL at the highest level.
Yeah. And we'll see. I think, Ole Miss plays Iowa this weekend. That's like 105 miles an hour coming in.
Yeah.
The Georgia plays Iowa at some point. I forget what the date is, but it's later on in the season. Like, I think it's in between like Auburn and Alabama series.
Yeah,
it's like midweeker. I got a question for you guys. This is a random post I saw on I will never call it X, but on the tweeters. All right, you ready for this? This is probably the most off-the-wall question you'll hear. Name an athlete who, if you heard they survived an unarmed encounter with a grizzly bear, would not surprise you.
Bo Jackson.
He just run away. Bear never catch him. Yeah. Just sit there and run around him in circles until the bear got dizzy and just fell over.
Yeah.
Herschel Walker would challenge him to a sit-up competition.
Yeah.
And win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson for sure.
Tyson, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of like a wrestler that would just.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thunderlips.
Definitely Thunderlips. Rocky.
Rocky.
He never loses.
Wait, are they talking about fictional characters now too?
I was gonna say.
There's nobody off limits. Jake Thomas.
Oh no, I'm not going to fight a bear. I'm not that. I do have some brains.
Gentle Ben Williams, a player that has had his number retired at Ole Miss, a defensive lineman. At halftime in the 70s, wrestled a bear.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
DeMarcus Cousins, because he's freaking crazy.
I was going to say, if talking about defensive lineman, Aaron Donald. I mean, he's just like a bear. He's probably him.
He's just wrestling his own kind at that point. That dude is
right. Yeah.
Let me see if I can find that picture online, and I will bring that up where everybody can see it.
Trent Williams, offensive lineman.
Yeah.
49ers.
Here's a big guy.
Let's see. Yeah, I like the Bo Jackson one, even today.
Yeah, Bo Jackson's a physical specimen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I would not mess with Bo Jackson. And,
Bo Jackson, serious bow and arrow skills.
Yeah.
Bo knows bows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
See what I did there?
Oh, wow.
Like, that actually happened.
So it's like the movie Semi-Pro, they actually brought him out.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
The bear gets loose, everybody runs screaming.
The 70s, man, there were no rules.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
None whatsoever.
Brock Vandegrift, because he looks like he just killed a bear with a Bowie knife.
Yeah.
It's unarmed.
A bar.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah. What's the dude's name? Crap. Lyle Alzado. Remember him?
Yeah, for the Raiders.
Jake, you don't know who that is. You're too young.
Yeah.
Probably one of those.
Yeah, Lyle Alzado played for the LA Raiders. So there's no chance Jake knows who he is.
He played for the LA Raiders. He might have been one of the most insane roid ragers in the history of the NFL.
Mm-hmm. And God bless him for it.
They called him 3 Mile Lyle based on the Chernobyl thing because he could explode at any moment. There's an NFL Films documentary about Lyle Alzado.
Huh.
You should watch it. That guy's nuts. He fought. He went to an exhibition boxing match with Muhammad Ali for fun, and hung with him. Like Ali couldn't.
Impressive.
Because at some point Ali was just toying with him, and then Ali started trying, and he still couldn't get him.
Ali was good at that, toying with his opponents.
Yeah, he was very good.
What sporting result can you think of to where you just sat back and you just didn't believe it happened?
The Braves win the World Series in 2021.
Yeah. Mine is Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's one. When the Red Sox were down 3-0 to the Yankees and came all the way back.
That was shocking.
That one was because they just kept doing it. Extra innings, 2 extra inning, back-to-back extra innings games. And back when they used to not have any time between the games in the series. Like even
is that when they had the bloody sock game and stuff like that? Oh, that's
Kurt Schilling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was nuts.
How the Yankees just didn't make him move around. Like I would have bunted until he couldn't pitch anymore.
Yeah.
Kurt Schilling is an enormous human being, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually said this, and God bless him for keeping his cool and not going. But I went around the corner and somebody hit me. And this was in the tunnel at the vet. In the tunnel. They were we were doing the national anthem or something for a Phillies game. And then I went around the corner and cold cocked somebody. And just instinctively, I'm like, watch where the F you're going, except I didn't, I did that, and I look up, it's freaking Kurt Schilling.
You assimilated to Philly really nicely.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that was one of my color guard duties whenever I was in the Navy.
Nice.
Joe Corey, there's another guy who just come to my mind that could probably beat a bear in wrestling. It's somebody that we know used to play for the Braves, John Rocker.
Oh yeah,
he'd be crazy enough to try.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Yeah,
I think the bear would end up mauling him, but Kyle Farnsworth too.
Yeah, Kyle Farnsworth was
speaking of lifelong Tigers fans. Kyle Farnsworth.
Yep.
Tell Rocker to fight that bear, he'd go running in. Like he always did the mound.
Yep.
Yeah, the fact that Kenny Powers was based off of John Rocker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did always make him so much funnier just knowing who he was based on.
Yeah. Oh me.
Dollar bills. I love Danny McBride, dude. He is hilarious.
Yeah.
Such a versatile character. His role in Tropic Thunder too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think of a sporting event like you were saying, Steve, that I just couldn't believe it was happening while it's happening. I'm not real sure. I think most of them I always heard about later on. Like there's so many that I wish I'd seen when they happened, But
one thing I saw in person, I saw the immaculate deflection in person with the wind blown back field goal against Mississippi State. I was at that game.
Oh.
And so that would be a situation where somebody told me that would be exactly that, but I was there. I saw that with my own eyes. But that's a moment that I'll never quite get over, and just actually seeing it.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
I think it was like in 2003, maybe. I was stayed up and watched. I think if I remember correctly, it was Dallas versus Golden State in the playoffs, and like the first round. And I think Dallas was up like 3-0 against Golden State, and Golden State come back and won 4-3. That series.
I
was like, I watched the entire series. I was like, man, Dirk Nowitzki could not be stopped in that series, and then somehow Golden State just come back and won it. I'm like, what the crap?
Watching Dwayne Wade just get destroyed every time he came to the lane. On that team with Shaq, and they won. They beat the Mavericks.
Oh yeah,
championship that year. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't think the Heat was going to win that one.
I didn't think they were either.
That one left my head scratching. There's so many like Master Sundays that like I saw that I was like, okay. Like Tiger, his last one that he won on a tear.
Yeah.
The Sergio year, that one was fun. Bubba Watson winning it in extra, in playoff. The Ryder Cups ones were always fun.
Oh, I love watching the Ryder Cups.
Steve, did you see the Black Sox scandal live?
Believe it or not, I had this conversation with my wife recently because we're doing the Ken Burns.
Yeah, Becky, well, we saw that game there live, Becky. That was a real doozy.
The Ken Burns baseball. We've gotten, we kind of go to sleep to that. And they were talking about that one and what was going on. And if I had a time machine, people like other people say, so I had a time machine, I would go take care of this evil person. Well, I wouldn't. I would just go back to different time periods and watch interesting baseball games. I would like to see exactly what watching Ty Cobb would look like. Yeah. What was it like with Babe Ruth?
Ty Cobb was a dirtbag.
Yeah, well, but not on the field.
No,
he was the first Hall of Fame player in the history of Major League Baseball. He beat Babe Ruth into the Hall of Fame.
That is wild.
Yeah,
and I'm kind of with you, Steve. You don't want to go back and alter history. You don't know what could happen, but go back and watch some of these great things from history.
Yeah,
it'd be amazing.
Yeah, it's everybody, because no matter who you are, your kids just don't understand. The players in their era, there was always somebody better according to the parents. And it's like Billy Crystal is on this baseball documentary all the time, and he's talking about like his dad and all that would always talk about Joe DiMaggio, and Billy Crystal was born after Joe DiMaggio, so he never got to see him play. So it was all Mickey Mantle and the Billy Crystal thing, but his dad was all about Joe DiMaggio, and I would be like, okay, I want to see both of them. I want to see how it works
too. So that probably made it weird. Yeah, I wanted it like I would have loved to see Mantle, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays.
Mantle hit a home run like 590 feet.
That is impressive.
Probably drunk.
Yeah, in Washington, he literally hit the longest home run ever.
Yeah, I want to see like Joe Namath, like some of those, like Ray Nitschke. You know, the 60s Packers with like Bart Starr and Paul Hornung and those guys. Like I would love to see some of that stuff too.
Yeah,
I would go see Jesse Owens completely blow everybody's minds and destroy every assumption that the Nazis had.
Yep.
Yeah, at the Olympics, that would be cool.
I would love to see Jesse Owens.
Actually, I'm not going to those Olympic Games. Nope. That's a foreign country I'm never going into.
I'm gonna watch it on TV though.
Yeah, watch on TV.
It was on TV. It was one of the first televised events, actually.
So, anyway, Corey, 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Two.
All right. So, the long storied history of baseball started back in 1898 with Steve's 7th birthday party in Cincinnati, where they So anyway, we are the SEC.
You better add about 40 years to that.
Whew.
Okay, I'm sorry. In 1862.
That's just all the Civil War.
They were not only fighting the Civil War, but they were also just deciding between Cincinnati and Pittsburgh for the first baseball location.
Baseball's as popular as it is right now in the U.S. because of the Civil War. Think about that. That is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Steve lived it. All right. So anyway,
you've burned about a minute already, Corey.
I know. This is great. All right, so I have to go really fast. We are the SEC After Dark podcast. Thank you for listening. You can find us each and every Wednesday at this time, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Make sure you visit DeadSoxy, Stewart's Cages of Pickles, get you a nice snack, get you some good sock game. You can find Jake Thomas, Tide Talk Live. They're still kicking ass. Jeb Beecham, when he gets done with his shift at Ole Mills, he may record a podcast at some point. I don't know.
We're thinking summer school.
Summer school. That's a great one. Rodney Dangerfield classic. Stephen Willis at Locked On Ole Miss. He's a loomer and a lifelong Detroit Tigers fan as of a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
almost exactly
a year ago.
It's true.
To the day. He's a lifelong Detroit Tigers fan. You can find him at Locked On Ole Miss.
Wait. Real quick. We'll put a pause in this 2 minutes.
Okay.
For March Madness, I would like for us to do an After Dark commentary on the movie Hoosiers for March Madness.
Hoosiers, okay.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
watch that again.
All right. Time in. You can find me at Locked On Vandy, Bleav In Georgia Dawgs, and we all join forces here on After Dark Commentary, where we talk about movies and TV shows and things not necessarily outside of the sports realm for the most part, but in the film and television industry. So it's really good listen. Go check out our series on 1923 where we talk about that. And we'll, like I said, we just said we're going to do Hoosiers. Brock Lesnar is a Bear, by the way. Yeah. So that being said, find us at SEC_after_dark, at Coach Burton 36, at the Stephen Willis, at Jake Thomas TTS, at UTK Joe on the tweeters. And we will see you back here next week better than ever. As always, we are SEC After Dark, presented by DeadSoxy, Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles, and BetOnline.ag. We'll see you back here next week. Until then, go Dogs. And
Hotty toddy.
Go Vols.
Roll Tide.